What kind of nonsense is this?
It's a lot of nonsense.
A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another brand new episode of Untitled Nonsense. My name is Josh Bonner. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. John Epling. John, how are you today, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm so pleased with this turnout. We actually have a very large selection of people here. No bronies, thankfully, right? All right. Sit down, buddy. Okay.
We are live at Space Coast Comic Con in Port Canaveral, Florida, here this afternoon. And we are joined, what is your full name, sir?
Brian David Robinson.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Robinson. And you're here with the con. You were are you a filmmaker? Is that?
Yes. I'm actually a chef by trade and a martial art master.
Okay.
But the last 13 years I've been working on films independent.
You do everything. You're
Oh yes. You got to be crazy. Come on, in the film world you got to be crazy.
The modern day Renaissance.
like Iron Chef over here.
Absolutely, more like Crazy Chef, but I'll work with that.
But we see you have a program here called
Family Flavors with Kid Kulinaire. Yes.
Right. Okay, and that's a TV show that basically promotes healthier food choices and
Absolutely. The show is actually based on my life growing up and then my cousin's life growing up. So we put it around a single mother who is a scripted reality show where she's raising her daughter who wants to be a chef, and then she gets to be on a professional chef's show that she's always wanted to be on.
Also, like she gets to be on like MasterChef Junior, that kind of
Exactly. And they make because she has her own imaginary friends and her own take on cooking, and she's one of those kids that just doesn't fit in anywhere. Okay. So because she's an unpopular kid, doesn't fit in, she makes these imaginary friends in this chef world where there's a character named Floppy and a character named Frank who are based on her chef and then her who. She just like, hey, all my friends are going to be there and do this. And so it's a scripted reality show around that, and then she actually gets to be on a real cooking show.
Oh, that's really cool.
Thank you.
And did you when you were casting it, did you find like somebody who wanted a little girl that wanted to learn all this?
Oh, absolutely. The great thing is, see, my cousin wanted to learn when she was 4 years old, and she was renting books from the library and wanting to learn how to cook, and that was her passion. And I didn't actually find out about it till she was 9. And when we went to cast, we actually met two girls who were both doing the same thing, who were the quirky girls who were cute but just didn't fit in, and it was almost the same exact personality, so you couldn't be better.
That's great. So you found like a container for them to star in where they actually get real life experience while they're doing
Absolutely.
it.
Since this was a scripted reality based on true life stories, you couldn't fake it. We needed the girl to fit right in and be that. And so we have a girl right now. Her name's Natalia Novas Gallen, who is perfect. She's a singer. She's really eclectic, likes music and stuff, and loves to cook. Has all these challenges, doesn't fit in, but she's an amazing kid, and just couldn't fit in better.
Great. Well, that's awesome. Is it going to be on YouTube, or where is it? Where are you going to be able to see it?
Actually, we've already shot the trailer and the TV special, but our executive producer is a producer out of New York City, and one of his best friends is high up in Viacom.
Okay.
And so he's pitching it to them and showing it to them, but Nickelodeon is interested, Disney, so we have a lot of interest in the show.
Yeah.
We just finished all the filming of proof of concepts and everything to put out to them, and so next week we start talks.
Is it filmed here locally?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so if you're talking with Disney, that's even better because they're right there.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think Nickelodeon is a good choice to go with because they're actually bringing back some of their old '90s cartoons.
That's true.
Simply because they like the moral value they had compared to newer cartoons. And actually, I like this idea because I think one of the biggest problems we have in our country today is that we just don't respect anything anymore like we used to. One of the biggest things that we don't respect anymore is food. It's the thing that fuels our bodies. You know,
Absolutely.
It shapes us, it molds us,
Well,
and
I think one of the things that happened, if you want to go there, is that I think with a lot of it puts out there, but teenage pregnancies and younger people having kids and stuff, they didn't get a chance to learn themselves. So they're do as I say, not as I do kind of attitude. And coming home to that, you don't get to help teach your kids. One of the things that I'm trying to teach is teach the parents to teach the kids. Be the role model, lead by example, and they'll do it. And I think, fueling yourself, taking care of yourself, being healthy, making just a healthier choice. And that's what it's about. It's not about dieting or anything else. If you're happy whatever size you're at, that's wonderful. If you're not and you want to be healthier or, change yourself, then make a healthier choice.
That's such a refreshing thing to hear too, especially considering just this recently with that comedian on YouTube, Nicole Arbor, with her Dear Fat People video.
Oh wow, yeah.
She was just
in this day and age we live in an age of misinformation. One of the biggest places people get their information is media, TV, entertainment. And
Which is all marketing, yes.
Right, and these things are not things that are created to educate them or make them better people. They're things that are created to market to them so they can make money off of them.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's they figure, a couple sodas aren't going to hurt me, or I'll just go to McDonald's. It's no big deal. They don't realize that getting one number 4 value menu is their entire calorie count for the entire day.
Actually, for 2 days.
Yeah, just the one soda from it pretty much is more sugar than they need in a week.
Well, and if you notice, like the fast food places and stuff start out with, when I was a kid, a large cup was like the size of the red cup you had. Mm-hmm. That was like a medium or a large. Now a large cup is like this. I won't even get one. If I order something somewhere, like one of my favorite places, my guilty pleasures is Arby's. Okay, I love going there because I like the food. It reminds me of New York and stuff a little bit, especially with the Reubens. Well, when I get a soda though, if I get a soda, it might be a Powerade or something, but if I end up getting a soda, I always ask for a small or a medium. I'll never get a large because, again, it's all that sugar. So balancing that out, again, making a healthier choice.
Mm-hmm. And I see you also have a nonprofit organization of healthier choices for a hungry child.
Absolutely. Now, see, that's something, we can talk about that I'm passionate about. The whole idea, you see all these nonprofits out there about feeding children. The problem is it's the same problem that you have in a lot of our government, which is they put it out there and they're like, if you've ever had anybody on food stamps or known anybody on food stamps, for a family of 5, you only get a quart of milk a week and 1 bunch of bananas. You only get a little bit of fruit. But you can have all the Twinkies and boxed macaroni and cheese you can eat.
Yeah, because it's so cheap.
A $2 box of snack cakes is, it's like 4,000 calories. Figure why spend $5 on fruit when I can just spend $2.
Right. Yeah. I went to the store the other day and a pound of blackberries is $6.
Oh, absolutely.
$6.
But not only is it more expensive, there are things you can buy on government programs. They don't let you buy the healthier foods. Mm-hmm. They won't even give it to you. Even if you were to buy less stuff than you could of the box stuff, they won't give it to you.
Yeah, like farmers markets and stuff where you can't spend that, where you can get super cheap produce and stuff. But
some farmers markets even let you have double credit if you're using SNAP.
But you can go to 7-Eleven and buy a pizza.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. They trumpet loudly. You can buy pizza with EBT now at 7-Eleven.
Exactly. That's the things that kill me. So with this, what we're doing is when I see people on there and they're like, oh, just give $1 a day and we can feed a child. No, you can't. Okay. Yeah. What I'm saying, I'm about being real. Okay. Mm-hmm. Our programs, the Family Flavors with Kid Kulinaire, the 3 after-school programs that we have. Okay. All the things that we do, the books and everything. A lot of that we're taking proceeds and putting it towards the healthier choices for hungry child. And not only are we going to educate people, but we're also going to help make healthier choices. And we're going to go to government. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to feed kids, especially in areas that they don't get it. If they're kids that are underprivileged, or whatever, we're going to make sure that they get the food. That I would rather spend the money and give them food and give them healthier choice foods than to give them all this processed food. And you can do it inexpensively. You really can.
And that's beautiful. I'm actually. I mean, I know we have a great turnout here, but I'm also very glad to have gotten to meet you. It's that I think what you're doing is a great thing. It's
absolutely.
More. I'd say Nickelodeon might be a good choice because I think they might reflect that belief, that idea that kids need to be properly educated because people make their choices based off of what their heads are filled with. So,
absolutely.
Like I was saying, you see all this propaganda, all these advertisements saying how okay and how all these cool people eat a Burger King. You're going to think, oh, that's all right. But in reality, you need to learn how to make your own food. You need to learn how to portion, how to ration, because you eat based off of what your body does. If you're eating for pleasure, then you're going down a bad path. And a lot of people are aware of that.
I know so many people that just don't even know how to cook, our age, that just don't even know how to cook.
Oh, they're not going to do basic food preparation. They don't understand food. Well, and there's nobody to teach them. One of the things that I'm a fan of, I love watching the Dr. Oz show. And the reason is because he cuts through the crap and he shows it in visual representation so you understand it. It doesn't go with marketing. He tells you the truth. And he brings on pros. The thing I like about that is part of our show, in the cooking show, I call it the Dr. Oz segment, is what I call it, to relate to, is this. I have no problem going head to head with, okay, give me an example. Okay, and people probably hate this, but hey, you know what? The Ronald McDonald House. It is a good thing. It helps feed kids, but it's funded by by McDonald's, which gives you horrible food.
Yeah.
So it's like why McDonald's, if you ask the original owner of McDonald's when he had the concept of it and he created it, they said, "What business are you in?" I don't know if you're aware of this, but he said real estate. Because McDonald's owns the top real estate in the world as a company. And they buy the real estate and then they franchise out the locations, right? But they still own the real estate. You still have to pay the rent that it's on.
So McDonald's is more of a side job.
Yeah, McDonald's, the burgers are an after effect if you want to look at it. They don't, when we're putting all this processed food into kids, but then opening up Happy Meal saying there's hope in it. I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I'm a chef. I'm a certified chef. Okay. I graduated from the best chef school in the world, the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York. I got 30 years experience in the business. Okay. I know I went through for dietitian and nutrition and all this. I know what I'm talking about. And when people were out there, like even Coke, okay. Now, I'm not against Coke itself, but the Coke products, when they went to, and this all comes back to marketing when I talk about, okay. Diet Coke, when it first came out, it's not Diet Coke, it's diabetic Coke. It was a Coke made for diabetics. It was the first soda made for diabetics, but it didn't sell. But their marketing plan said, hey, you know what? We have this bottle that's shaped kind of dicey and stuff. Let's put a thin woman on there, call it Diet Coke. They never say it's for dieting. They just say that. And so people think, oh, if I had this, the sweeteners in it, the artificial sweeteners actually make you retain water and fluids and make you gain weight, not lose weight.
Yeah, and no one knows this. You're brought up, as a kid, you're thinking, oh, it's just Coke, but with less calories.
Right. It's Diet Coke. But then and it sold so well from the marketing package that all the other soda companies followed suit. Yeah. But people don't realize, that's for diabetics. No, I'm on a diet. I'm having Diet Coke. No, drink juice. And it's just all these things people don't know. If you drink juice from concentrate, it's like drinking soda because what they do is they take all the sugar out, okay, and then they add back in artificial sugar. So what's the deal? It's like just don't drink from concentrate.
Yeah, I've heard getting too much of the artificial sugar destroys that part of your brain that tells you, hey, you need to stop having sugar.
Exactly.
It stops regulating it.
So it's just, when we talk about marketing, you're talking about all these things. These are the things we're trying to hit. And on our show, the scripted reality segment is kind of like leading by example showing. The cooking segment is we're getting on there and actually telling them, showing them, and explaining these things while we're prepping the food and making it accessible to kids and their families.
That is incredible. And a martial artist. You, sir, are a saint.
Yes. Well, I love the martial arts and I love helping kids, so it kind of all ties together. I teach children martial arts. One of my after-school programs is a martial arts school. And what's that? No.
Maybe you and Josh could get together one day. You could literally fight obesity.
I like that. I never even thought about that. That's I think the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. That's awesome.
Hey, as long as it's for a good cause, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, absolutely. Well, and what's kind of funny about that, if you want to think of it that way, we have a Save Our Kids Through Martial Arts program that is with the Black Salt film that I'm doing. And that right there is about paying for, budget cuts, right? Where did they cut? Gym classes. And where did they cut it? In the neighborhoods who need it the most. Okay. So we actually, our proceeds from that film and projects and stuff we're doing are going to help pay for, or actually helping to pay for martial art classes to kids who lost their gym classes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we are fighting.
Man, why weren't you around when I was a kid? As I say, it's just a very, it's not, we both could have used you when we were younger, So could some of you in the crowd. Don't give me that face. Don't lie to yourselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and we've actually got a lot of support. Jackie Chan and Eric Chan. Eric Chan's been on all the Jackie Chan films and Jet Li films, and his choreographer as well. They did a video for us. You can see it on YouTube called Save Our Kids Through Martial Arts, and it has Black Salt in it, the film that we're doing. And they talk about just that the proceeds, and they're helping out, and they talk about that, which is fantastic. So, yeah. Well, you know what? When we were kids, though, and we were first growing up, okay, I grew up in the 80s. I don't know about you, okay? As I was growing up through the 70s and in the 80s, the problems weren't as bad. And to me, there was more information. And then all of a sudden, in the 90s and on.
Well, it was more regulated information.
Exactly.
It's like it was easier to find a trustable source. But now everyone has their own opinion and everything. And it's so hard to
cut through the noise
anymore. There's too much to compare to. So you're just like, that one sounds good. I'll go with that.
And marketing, because of all the information that's out there, the marketing people have gotten so good at knowing the gray areas and the loopholes and really have pushed that. So when you see something and it's marketed on TV or at a package at a store, like here's what I'm going to give you a pet peeve. You guys like controversy? I'll give you a pet peeve. Okay, sea salt. Okay, here's the thing, and they don't tell people this. Everybody I know, because they know I'm a chef, comes up to me and go, "Hey, I got sea salt. What do you think?" I'm like, "That's not sea salt." And they go, what do you mean? They go, well, it's marketed as sea salt, and technically it came from the sea, but they're using it as a marketing term, and they don't understand the difference. And this is where the education comes in. Okay, iodized salt has iodine. Okay, it was used to strip it. Okay, and iodized table salt, it's the table salt everybody has at home, is actually poisonous to you. They don't realize that. Okay, and the government allows to sell it, which is crap. Kosher salt is what we use in restaurants. We don't use iodized salt.
Right.
Okay, we use kosher salt. Okay, it's basically rock salt that's crushed down a little bit. Okay, and it has more minerals and vitamins in it for you. Okay, nutrients. Well, sea salt, real sea salt, comes from the ocean. They actually harvest it out of the ocean. It has a light green tint to it, and it's wet. Okay, and it has moisture content. And with that, it has nutrients and vitamins and minerals from the sea, and that's why it's better for you and so forth.
Right.
What a lot of people, if it's white and it looks like kosher salt, not that it's bad for you, but it came off the beach and it was harvested after it's been bleached, sitting in the sun and everything else is sitting here. So it's the same as getting it in a mine of kosher salt. They're just charging you, it's kosher salt that you could get a box for like $2 and get a nice couple pound box. You're buying it for 6 ounces or 8 ounces, and you're spending $6.
Yeah, just instead of saying we bleached it, nature did, and here spend more money on it.
Well, kosher salt was bleached naturally, if you want to call it that, from the sun and the earth and everything. And it's just it lost a little bit of value, but it's still good because it's out of the earth, but it hasn't been processed. Whereas the sea salt they're selling you, it's the same stuff. It's just off the beach instead of a mine, and it's closer to the ocean. They call it sea salt, but didn't it all come from the sea? I mean, come on, it all came from the same place. But you're not getting the nutrients if it was green and wet and it had actually still in there and it wasn't dried out.
The asterisk sea salt.
Exactly.
The fine print sea salt.
But people are charging out the fortune, and people think they're getting, and there's so many things in health and nutrition that they say this crap, and it is crap.
And I see this marketing and advertising everywhere. Actually, it's one of the main reasons why I really like what you're doing, is because emotional manipulation is like the biggest tool in media now, and they just love to shoot out disinformation. Like you were talking about how with McDonald's, how they use these emotionally manipulative commercials trying to make it sound like they're helping kids and they're helping these third world countries and things like that. But it's like, no, what you're doing is you're trying to make people like you so you'll spend more money, and you're doing the bare minimum, but you're showing pictures making it seem like you're doing a lot.
Right. Now, and like I said, I'm all for the Ronald McDonald House because that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're causing the problem. They're part of it. Now I have no problem, and this is where my show may differ from a lot of other shows. Okay, and I make this example all the time. If I have a donut, like this donut in my hand, okay, I have this donut. I'm not telling you not to eat this donut. What I'm trying to tell you is what's in this donut and what it actually is, and being honest about it. And if you're eating healthy and you're exercising and doing all this, and you get all these fluids and stuff, and you want to sit down, you know what? When I have a hard week and I've accomplished something and I've made my goals, there's a basic cake donut that I like, that it's a baked cake donut and it's got a chocolate icing on it, dark chocolate, and I'll put a box in the refrigerator, and then at the end of the week, if I've accomplished my goals and I've knocked it all out, I will sit down with a glass of ice cold milk, and usually coconut milk, and I'll sit there and I'll just dip it, and I will take a half hour to eat this one donut, and I will enjoy it. But I also know, because I'm having that one donut,
But you have to offset your diet.
Exactly. Well, what did I do during the week? Did I earn it through working out? Did I do this? And then I have to know, okay, I can't eat another one for at least another week because I want to get myself healthy and push things through me. So I'm not saying don't eat a McDonald's hamburger. What I'm saying is know what's in it. Know what's in the food, the drinks. Know what you're buying. And don't do it because you're lazy and you're in a hurry, because I can teach you how to make a million things at home that take a second and that you can store all week in your freezer and pull them out and have them for your kids and still be fresh and great. And that's the point. And there's a lot of other resources out there that you can do. Not, I'm not against McDonald's itself. I'm against the advertising campaigns that lead you to think this is good and we can do this and there's hope in this box and you're getting a toy. You're getting a toy, so let's eat crap.
And that's a huge issue too, because they're taking these resources, all this plastic, these are just creating a litter everywhere. These toys don't do anything. They're made specifically so they'll buy the Happy Meal, go, and throw it away.
Like one of my shows, I love the Minion characters. Okay, I love my characters that I have, and when I see the Minions out there and stuff, everybody loves them. And then when I see it, it breaks my heart when I see them like doing a commercial for McDonald's, because when I see this, I'm like, everybody who loves them is going to attach those feelings, and that's why they're doing it, to McDonald's, and they're going to go in and they're going to have it, and they're going to want to be there. They're going to bug their parents every day and go every single day, and their parents are going to give in and do this, and they get all the toys, and you know what? Again, I'm not against the toys. I'm not against the Minions. I'm not against the Beaner. I'm against them using that. And when you go in, they're like, oh, we have a healthier choice salad or something. If you look in there, everything's paired with a soda. Why pair it with anything? Your choice of beverage. And for a kid's meal, it should always be paired with juice or milk or something like that. And
They are getting better about that. They are offering milk.
Being
and
pushed,
apple
like this
slices.
is common sense.
Yeah, I agree.
It's all from concentrate. Again, it's the worst of the choices for you, but they're advertising it. You know the smoothie they do? Okay? It says, okay, you got to understand the food process and the marketing process that goes with it. McDonald's owns a lot of the farms. They buy from farms, but they also own farms. Okay?
Right.
Well, if you own the farm and you own the berries, and then you take it and you process it, you can say it came from 100%, like real fruit.
Yeah.
As opposed to if I bought it from another company that processed it, and then, it didn't because I'm buying the processed version. Do you see the in truth there? Okay, so you can advertise that it came from real fruit because you started with real fruit.
Right.
It ain't real fruit by the time it got finished.
Like Cheez-Its are made with real cheese.
Exactly. Exactly. And those are the things. So, and that's all I want people to understand. I'm not saying don't go and have this. If you like it, okay. I like going, like, another guilty pleasure is when I go to Starbucks, like, I rarely get to go, but if I go and I gotta earn something or if I've done something great, I'll sit down and treat myself to a nice chai tea. Okay. Somebody introduced me to it a long time ago. I loved it, but again, I only have one once in a great while. But I know what's in it. It's nothing really healthy, but it's an enjoyment. But I don't have one every single day, 3 times a day, and I don't get the giant thing.
Because of you're aware of its effects on your body and things like that. It makes it easier to be like, okay, there's a cooldown on this now. I gotta wait.
And that's all I'm asking for these companies to do. Be honest about this stuff, and don't be like, oh, look at this Happy Meal. There's hope. Because I don't know if you've seen the food that's in there. If you saw the commercial or the video where they took a McDonald's hamburger and they put it and it stayed like 30 days and didn't even
They're
even deteriorate.
They have so many preservatives in them. They're just like it's almost not even food anymore.
Yeah, and those are the things. Okay, look, what else is in this?
This is wartime food. Like, as soon as World War III starts, McDonald's is going to be awesome because
spam burgers.
I'll buy enough to put them in my refrigerator and have them for the next 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
and that's the only thing. Like I said, I'm just trying to get at that and be honest is all I'm asking. So that the people don't. And I don't know what you can say on this, right? But I'll tell you. Anyway.
We can say we're completely uncensored.
Yeah,
whatever the fuck we want.
Well, then don't treat like we say in the kitchen. Don't treat you like a mushroom and put you in a closet and feed you full of shit.
Right.
So that's the thing. They treat people, and the people don't. With all the internet and all the information out there, they don't do their due diligence. Listen, if you don't do it for yourself, do it for your kids. Get the information and do it, and care about your kids. Care about what you put into yourself, because you know what? McDonald's doesn't care, and no other places care if you're in the hospital when you're 30, 40 years old because you're dying because of what you've got, because of all the crap you put into yourself all the years, and all the sodas and everything.
And what they do, that emotional manipulation, that advertising, what it looks like to me, it's just like a corporate version of gaslight manipulation. That's all it looks like. Oh, hey, look at us. We're here to help you. We love the community. Look at us help all these other places. Here's your fucking burger. Get out of here, you fat piece of shit.
and that's the thing. Yes, they do stuff. They help out in the community. They do stuff. And, I give them credit for that, but they're doing that to make it a good face for what they're doing. If you want my respect, okay, if this burger is the most unhealthy thing in the world, but at least be honest about it. Don't use the gray areas of marketing stuff. Hey, listen, this is our burger, okay? It's not the greatest, it's not the healthiest thing for you, okay? But if you want to eat it and treat yourself, hey, come and do it. Okay?
No, you can.
Take care of yourself on the side.
There's
care about
proof
you.
that you can be a success with that. There's a place called the Heart Attack Grill where they have.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I've not heard about the Heart Attack. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I've been.
Let me see if we can.
Basically,
if we have.
This guy made a place that just sells the unhealthiest food, like quadruple bypass burgers, 5,000 calorie milkshakes, stuff like that. And he's like, well, I do it to combat anorexia. You gotta remember. You
see, that's funny, and if you,
but it's obviously a lie.
But I would be happy to go into a place like that and enjoy it if that's what people say to me. Sometimes they go, hey, I would never want to cook for you. I don't want to go to a restaurant with you because you're a chef. And I say, why? Well, because you're gonna be like, listen. If I'm spending $5 on a hamburger, I expect a $5 hamburger. If I'm spending $50 on a hamburger, I expect a $50 hamburger.
And it is when that place is actually better than McDonald's, simply because they tell you how horrible stuff is.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't walk in there thinking anything that you're gonna walk out and be like, oh, it's okay,
you're gonna walk out of there feeling bad about yourself.
If you don't work out heavily after that, or do something to counterbalance that, you have destroyed your nutrition for a while.
One of the best lines I ever heard in a movie was on what was it? The one with see, now I'm tongue tied. Was it? with what was his name? Val Kilmer was in it. It had to do with Wyatt Earp and stuff.
Tombstone?
Tombstone. Thank you. I was stuck for a minute. Apologize for that. That was my brain going crazy.
That's me most of the time.
Yeah.
On Tombstone at the end, and he says, he turns around to him and he says, he goes, I don't know how to have a good life. He goes, there is no good life, or there's no bad life. There's just life.
Yeah, exactly. There's just good and bad are all subjective. All that. That's why it's so important to.
So let the people make their decision. It goes back to the food. Okay, when I heard that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm behind that. If you want to be like what some people call unhealthy, if you want to eat and you indulge and you enjoy and you're passionate about it, okay, in the end, everybody's going to die anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing that and it's a conscious, healthy decision you're making and you're happy with it, who am I to judge you? Okay, who am I to judge you? What's right and what's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If that's what you want to do and you're happy with it, then be happy. But don't lie to people.
Right,
and
exactly.
tell
Don't try to
them.
hide the truth.
Yeah,
I am never for being in
You're gonna
denial.
love it.
Hey, if somebody's going to McDonald's and they have all the information, and like I said, I go to Arby's. I like Arby's. I know that, okay, the Reuben is made with real meats and things like that, okay, sauerkraut. But you know what? The bread and the Reuben process, if I eat one every day, I would get sick.
And that's really, you
don't.
know what? With like, there are these fat acceptance movements and all that. But the thing of it is, it's all about looking for respect, and that's what your stance gives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as you don't try to pass off your personal responsibility in knowing what you put in your body on somebody else,
Yes.
but as long as you take that personal responsibility, you
Right.
respect them as a person.
Right, it can
Absolutely.
exist, but the information's got to be regulated.
Exactly.
You can't just let anyone say whatever they want anymore. Well, as far as marketing goes, I think. Anymore.
Right. No, I agree. And I think there should be tighter rules. Well, look at it this way. On one of my episodes on my show that I'm going to do, I'm going to bring out a sumo wrestler, a baseball player, a boxer, a bodybuilder, a fitness person. I'm going to bring out all these different people, okay? And then I'm going to be asking the audience. I'm going to say, okay, bring up the first one, sumo wrestler. I'm going to say, okay, how many people think he's unhealthy? I guarantee a lot of people will raise their hand. I'm going to say, okay, baseball player, what do you think? And we're going to go down the line, okay? And just different people and stuff like that, and different professions and stuff. Bodybuilder, how many people think they're healthy? Blah, blah, this guy's healthy, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then, and I'm hoping to get some real honest people that I'm going to get on these stages and stuff, because the idea is, okay, listen, okay, do you understand that a sumo wrestler is actually very healthy? They're big, but you know what? When you eat things that are high in acids, okay, and I'm going to jump here for a second, but when you're eating things that are high in acids, okay, and things that aren't healthy for you, colors, dyes, preservatives, your body gets that out of your bloodstream by putting it and sugars and stuff, by putting it into your fat and absorbing it and putting fat, get it out of your bloodstream. And that's why you gain weight. Okay, sumo wrestlers don't do that. What they do is they have a dietitian that works with them, and they eat healthy. They eat lots
Bowls and bowls of brown rice and
fish and everything. But what happens is, because they're eating so much of it, it puts on healthy weight. Now, what I mean by healthy weight is, okay,
fat.
If you have fat that has acids and toxins and stuff like that in it, okay, when you start to lose weight, you feel horrible because anytime you're using that fat, because it's going in your bloodstream and putting more toxins in it. Whereas their fat has it's like a bear. It has vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that they can live on. So fat by itself isn't bad. It's what's in the fat and all the storage that you're having. And that right there poisons you and makes you sick as well. Now, you can look at a bodybuilder. People go, oh, I want to be like that person. But sometimes, not all of them, but sometimes they're on steroids to get there. They're doing unhealthy things. And let's say they're at 2 or 3% body fat.
Or even, the diet and the amount of protein, all that stuff they have to take in once they get to that point. If they don't maintain that like insane level of intake that they have, then then they start to fall apart.
Well, and you know this, when they go out, and people don't realize this, when they go out and do a pose down on the stage, there's such a low water and body fat
they're
content
so dehydrated.
that as soon as they finish, as soon as they're in 2-minute pose down, they are so exhausted and worn out. Then they have to come to the back and they're hydrating and trying to and they're about to pass out. They don't have enough body fat, or they don't have enough water in them to maintain just 2 minutes of posing. And because of that, and they're flexing everything, their body's exhausted, they're going to collapse. And people don't see the behind the stage. They see them on the bodybuilding magazines. Everybody wants to be like that. And what's sad is so many people are willing to do what's unhealthy to get there. So the sumo wrestler, to me, is way healthier than most bodybuilders. And and then you talk about like baseball players, different. So we're trying to show and let them talk about it. You notice boxers, when they box, most of the time they're not cut down, ripped down like you see in the movies. They have a girth on them because they need some body fat because they have to survive 10 rounds of fighting. You know, so they're not lean like you see in the movies. And you see these martial artists in the movies, and they're all like these like just bodybuilder type looks. It looks good in the movies, but they don't realize that, you know, this actually a lot of times they're on an unhealthy weight and they can't maintain that. And that's and just being truthful about that. And they use those people for marketing because people want to see that. And again, you know, so it goes back to me, it's basically lying.
Not to mention, I know a lot of friends, actually, you know, through Kelvin, through my trainer, who, you know, they bulk themselves up so much that while they're strong technically and they can hit hard, but their joints are so damaged.
Yes.
You can only throw 2 or 3 punches before they're gone.
Oh, absolutely. Well, see, and it goes back to the martial arts side that I'm in. Learning martial arts, I got to actually be with when I first started learning Taekwondo. It was about hits and punches and kicks, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when I got into Kung Fu, one of the things that they taught me was about herbal healing, okay, and herbology and stuff, and to heal my body through medicines and stuff that you can make naturally through herbs and vitamins and stuff that you could ferment and make that heal your bones and your joints and everything else. And because of that, I've had injuries that I've been able to heal myself that doctors weren't able to heal because I learned from doctors who are also martial artists. And again, you know, it's healing your body, it's taking care of yourself, and just people don't share that. And you know, I haven't been to a doctor in forever.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, when you take care of yourself, like food is fuel. You can, like you were saying, like a sumo wrestler gets there eating like lots of healthy carbohydrates, things like that. But you get
proteins and stuff,
you get the sumo size eating zebra cakes and stuff. You know, you're not going to be a fighter,
right?
Right.
You're going to be, you know, you'll be great if you ever need to chase Indiana Jones down. But
well, and the sumo wrestlers build. If you're carrying all that weight, you're actually carrying a lot of
muscle.
Yeah, because you have to lift it. And so put a suit on. They call it a fat suit, but put a suit on of like 100 pounds, 150. Wear that, and you know, and have it not just on your back, but have it like distributed through your legs, your arms, and stuff. You will build a lot of muscle through that. So the sumo wrestler builds a lot of muscle because that's how they can do what they can do. You know, so they're not unhealthy at all.
Yeah.
You know, and they're very much revered, and so people, like I said, people just don't realize that.
They're rock stars in Japan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, except for the sumo rock stars, the ones that get there healthily, but then they're like, "Oh, I'll eat what I want. Me and a sumo rock star." You know, it's just like any other celebrity. Sometimes you run away with it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and it comes back to culture, though. When you lose yourself and you don't go back to your culture, you know, I mean, think about it. Pick a country. If you're from whatever country, Japan, China, Mexico, anywhere, and even the United States, Southwest or whatever, and you actually have a culture and you share that with your kids, you're going to eat that way and be that way and live that way. When you get away from all that and you listen to all the marketing and TV and hype and media who's just trying to sell you and that don't care about you and people that don't care about you, you know, to really care, you're going to, if you listen to them, you know, stars and stuff like this, you know, we put too much emphasis on that. I would rather put emphasis on people doing the right thing than, you know, and celebrate them. And not listen, you know, in these marketing things, because that's what happens. People watch these and they want to be like them. They don't realize you eat all that crap, you're not going to be like them.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are starting to wake up to the power of mainstream marketing, simply because, have you heard of the TV show Mr. Robot?
Yes, I have.
It just came out, and I mean, it's pretty much, this is its foundation, is that people are lied to, people are manipulated, you know, people are given an idea that something's great simply so someone else can make money.
Oh, absolutely. Do you know, there was a turning point. Tony Robbins talks about this, okay? And I enjoyed listening to him. One of the things he talked about was a commercial that was done back in the day with Michael Jackson and Pepsi. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson Pepsi.
You know what I'm talking about?
The moonwalking one?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Where the kid is in the video and he's enjoying Pepsi and doing his music stuff. You hear Michael Jackson music and you see Pepsi. Michael Jackson music, see Pepsi. Michael Jackson music, see Pepsi. Then you see Michael Jackson, you know, the kid moonwalks and you know that Michael Jackson wasn't willing to even hold the Pepsi in his hand. And how they got around it is they had the kid do it and had him move it into the room with him. He didn't drink Pepsi. He didn't support it. Okay, but they listened to the music and you get that feeling and that neuro association, and Pepsi sales went through the roof because they associated Michael Jackson and his music every time they heard the song with Pepsi.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's the wrong thing to do. That's my opinion. It is the wrong thing.
And it's what we've become built on.
Right.
And that's a lot of why things are turning into a circus. I mean, the kind of marketing and the way that we've let things become now is the reason why Donald Trump has like GOP support, why he's a front runner in this election right now.
He's all like pissed at Oreo because they closed up a plant and they opened up a new one in Mexico. He's never gonna eat Oreos again.
Like I've been listening to his speeches and stuff, and I haven't heard him give a single stance, a single fact. It's all about how he feels, about what he says he's going to do. But there's never. It's all pathos, no logo.
Right. Well, and you talk about that stuff. Like I know a plant in Ohio that did regular tube TVs years ago, and then when it became flat screen, they instead of retooling, they sent it to Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay? And
everyone outsourced. It's like, oh hey, we can.
5,000 people lost their jobs. But my thing is this. Okay. It's not the company's fault. They're trying to make business.
Right.
It's the government's fault for not setting it up so that they can be profitable in the United States.
Right. People have been taught that the way to run a business is to look at your statistics.
You can't get pissed off for somebody following the rules that are set for them.
I'm not pissed off at people. I'm pissed off at the system. You know, it's not something we should accept.
Well, and if you want to know something that's funny, if you go around in a circle, China invests in the United States. The United States invests in other countries, and then China invests in the United States, so they're owning more and more and more. Okay, there's a housing complex down the road that the investors from China bought the housing complex and built houses and are renting them out. They're making money off American citizens. I'm not against that. What the thing is, I'm against is the government. They're doing what they were allowed to do. It's our government who set it up that way. Our companies have to go to other countries to manufacture because they can't afford things here because of the problems that we have here. So, look at other countries come here because they have the benefits here. We go to other countries because of other benefits. So set it up and fix that, and then you won't have these problems.
And then if you want to change that laws, what do you need to do? Well, you need to lobby for it. And how do you lobby for something? Well, you got to spend a lot of money to do it.
Right.
And who has all the money to lobby? Oh, the people doing business.
And that's what I have a problem with too. To me, lobbying shouldn't be about money. You can't win. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem they got to fix. To me, lobbying, for things and putting money in should be illegal all the way around.
And don't get me wrong, I can understand back, when they developed the country, how they saw money as like a medium of influence of, your deeds in the community, things like that. So they're saying, okay, if you have a lot of money to give, then that means you have a lot of clout, so you have a lot of voice, you have a lot of opinion.
But that was back when
over time. Right. It's corrupted over time, and it's no longer like that, and people are refusing to see it.
Right. But if something no longer works, change it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was back when we were in a system where it was like community by community.
I can respect the idea behind it. I'm not looking like, oh, it's oppression, and they just want to, it's a conspiracy and all that. It's just a game of, that's how life works. Life is an ongoing game of telephone. When something starts out one way, it turns, and then you got to come up with a new word.
Absolutely.
Right.
No, you're absolutely right on that. That's crazy.
So, wanted to bring up before we're already late. I don't care. We'll go until they kick us out. Wanted to bring up Uber. Have you been following what's going on with Uber all around the world recently?
Honestly, no. I've been so busy on the film and stuff that I haven't had a chance to keep up with everything.
Well, Uber is a ride-sharing app. It is. Like, basically, you download the app, and you get all set up with Uber.
With the cars and stuff, right?
Right,
yes.
It's kind of, the way a free market economy is kind of leaking into what we have now, because a taxi service is, an already established business. You have to go apply with them, be a driver for them. Uber makes it so, hey, I have a car, I have insurance, I want to be a driver. Let me sign up. Let me pick my own clients. Yes, things like that. So right now, the taxi industry is extremely upset with Uber, and drivers are basically on the street, yelling at and threatening Uber drivers, saying that they're stealing their livelihood away from them, things like that.
But they can actually, if they want to do it, they can actually offer a similar type of service.
I know, right? It's like, hey, you guys could just change your structure to match evolving needs.
Exactly. Or have both. You have a taxi service and then offer Uber, a type of structure. You have the money to do it, so offer both.
Right, absolutely.
But they can't because their God says that they might not make more of their God. Like, the numbers don't add up, so we can't take any risks.
So we actually have a video here of an Uber driver and a passenger being assaulted, basically, by a taxi driver in Ottawa.
No way.
Hang on. Let's see here. So we,
you see, the thing I have a problem with this is, okay, This person's trying to make money doing their business. They're trying to make money doing their business.
Mhm.
So what's the problem?
And this is something like that you see here. It's better that the Uber drivers are like this. But what?
Yeah, the taxi driver screaming at him, basically seeing him as a guy who's encroaching on his territory. And it goes into how you're saying the way companies are set up. It's because he sees this as there's nothing he can do to stop it. This guy's basically chosen to come to taxi driving here, and he works for a company that only pays him so much based off the fare they give him. He's upset this guy comes in just to get to make what he asks them to give them, and doesn't have to work for any company. He's pissed off.
I can understand why the taxi driver is
like
upset.
this, all I have to do is, hey, maybe I should just work for Uber,
right?
Because I'm already a taxi driver. Wait.
Yeah, so it's.
Now, how many people are going to want to go with his taxi service when he's acting like this?
I know, and then he's probably like, well, I can't afford my own car to do Uber or anything like that. It's like, well, we live in a world where there's too many cars and things like that, so people who have them are going to utilize them to make money. You can't do anything to stop this.
Right. And imagine, the Uber driver is so calm. Like, he's just like, let them. Like, that is the kind of, that shows you the difference there. Like, the taxi drivers, they're hustlers. They're hustling for the money. The Uber drivers are doing it. They're calmer. They're doing it because they want to. Yeah.
They're like, hey, I like this idea. I want to do this. Or like, I need a job. Taxi's hiring. I'll do that shit.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So we actually are going to we're going to wrap it up here. We're gonna stop recording and wrap up the show this afternoon.
Well, it was great sitting with you guys.
Yeah, we do want to thank you for coming out.
Hey, anytime you want me back, please let me know.
Yeah, definitely appreciate having you on. If you need any help with this or anything,
yeah, please, we'll get in touch with you,
I
and we'll
wholeheartedly support this idea.
Thank you. And just to put it out there again, November 7th, Madison Square Garden, AMC Theaters, Black Salt. The movie is going to be out there. You can see it at blacksaltfilm.com.
Black Salt, yeah.
You can see that. Michelle Lee is in it. It's directed by Ben Ramsey. Owen Ratliff is the creator and producer of this. We have Arnold Chan helped work on it. He was doing behind the scenes. He did some of the fight choreography and everything. James Liu is in it. So please watch this. Come out and watch it. And then right after that, it'll be in the other AMC theaters and stuff, and then the HBO. So please come out and watch it.
Fantastic.
Enjoy it. Give us your support.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think.
I'll check this home definitely. I'll look you up and I'll spread you around a bit.
We'll get in touch, and we'll get this episode to you and whatnot. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And keep an eye out for Family Flavors with Kid Kulinaire. And like I said, we have the website out. KidKulinaire.com/Family Flavors. We have all of our stuff is on YouTube at the moment for the behind the scenes, the making of, and our trailers. So please come out, see what we're doing, and I can't wait to see you guys again.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was really nice meeting you. Be careful on your way out. Crowd's pretty worked up.
Yeah,
I don't want to get tackled. There's no security.
Absolutely.
So
I like what you guys are doing.
Great, thanks. So we're